chapter. Oh, I think this is a bit too big. Let me adjust this a little bit. We are now in chapter 7. I would say this is probably my favorite chapter in the book or in my lectures. It's because this chapter is no way in the book. I'm just telling you right now. So this is the binding. So the thing, so we saw that for radioactivity, the most important curve was the band of stability. Without any doubt, just see how much I used it. The binding energy curve is without any doubt one of the most important graphs in all of physics, especially nuclear physics. In fact, it may be the most important graph in the textbook, in my opinion, because it really, you'll see that the physics is deep. And during this process, we're going to talk about nuclear fusion, fission, and we'll talk about bombs, and we'll talk about nuclear reactors. And then we want to ask, where do atoms come from? This is this chapter. I could spend a whole semester just on this chapter. Of course I won't. But that's the way I look at it. So here we go. So what I'm going to do here is I talked way too much. So I need to get down to business, and let's review some of the things that we talked about in the previous chapter. One of the things that we talked about here is we talked about binding energy. And binding energy is a very, very, very good model for understanding what's going on. And what we said here is that the way we viewed the nucleus is like this. So we said here is that the nucleus is a bound system of nucleons trapped in potential wells. Right, in potential wells. And what creates these potential wells? Well, what creates them is the attractive strong force. That's what creates these potential wells. So this is in the language of energy. So you already heard me say that if I have a nucleus like this, and I have a series of protons and a series of neutrons, what I'm saying here is that this is a bad model, right? We already said that this is not a good model. So the way we model the nucleus is with a potential well. And so when I'm thinking about this potential well, we know that there's this forbidden region where a trapped nuclei cannot get out. So if I put, let's say, a proton or a neutron in here, then we know that this represents the depth of this potential well is this. Okay. So we're seeing here is that that's how we model. So the picture on the right is a much better model than that. And so what we find here is that if I want to move on to where we got to go here is that in the last chapter, a important number or important ratio was the NP ratio that talks about stability and instability, or unstable nuclei. That was an important ratio. We have another important ratio in this chapter. And this is another way to compare nuclei. And this is known as the binding energy. The way it's written is the binding energy over the atomic mass. But what this really means here is that this is the binding energy per nucleon. Okay? This is the binding energy per nucleon ratio. And we'll write this for easiness as BE over A. But it's really how much binding energy is there per nucleon. And so what we're seeing here is that if there's a lot of binding energy per nucleon, then we have a very tightly bound nucleus. If the binding energy per nucleon is small, then we don't have a tightly bound nucleus, and there's an easy way to sort of like rip it apart here. But we're still moving in the direction of talking about, you know, binding energy. And so picture-wise, so this is going to be a very important ratio right here. And so what we also said here is that we said this here. We said that as the number of nucleons increases, the strong nuclear force also increases to a point. That is, its strength reaches a maximum. And what we mean by a maximum is that what we're saying here is that this implies here is that then the binding energy per nucleon is also a maximum. And then what we find here is this. If too many nucleons, do I really want to say it this way? What I really want to say is something like this. Once it reaches a maximum, once it reaches a maximum, the binding energy strength starts to decrease. And that's why if I keep adding, so as an example here, you're going to see that when does it really start to decrease? So when I say decrease, I'm really looking at what? It decreases because you're now beyond lead. Because after lead, then you start radioactive. So the binding energy has decreased because you added too many nucleons into this process here. So again, we're still kind of almost in review mode, but this is what I'm really saying here picture-wise. So if I look at the nuclei, what do I mean by the nuclei? Well, we already talked about, it's really about the energy. So the binding energy per nucleon ratio is about the amount of energy required to, I'm going to move this down one, required to remove a nucleon from the nucleus. So if I look at my wells, in other words, if I have a well that looks like this. So in this case, we know that this is the forbidden region. And what we're going to say here is that in this case here, we're going to say that this is our 0 point. So if I imagine that I have a nucleon inside of this thing, we're going to see here is that this tells us about how much binding energy there is. But if I look at one that has way more binding energy, let's say it looks like this here, then what I'm seeing here is that if I have my trapped nucleon right here, this clearly tells me that that obviously has way more binding energy, and it's going to be harder to remove that here. So then in the language that we're talking about, I'm going to move this over here. In the language that we're talking about, we got to be saying the following thing. So if I have a less deep well, I'm going to have a lower binding energy per nucleon ratio. But wait a minute, if I have a lower, then that means then that it's less tightly bound. And if it's less tightly bound, it's going to be easier to remove. But I could say the same thing for the deeper well. If I have a deeper well, then I'm going to have a higher binding energy per nucleon ratio. So what does this mean? It's more tightly bound, but if it's more tightly bound, it's going to be harder to remove. And check this out. This is our binding energy per nucleon curve. This is it. And believe it or not, these are the wells. This is why I say this is like one of the most important. And just to give you a couple of examples, look at this guy right here. That guy is iron 56. It's not the most tightly bound, but it is tight. So if you look at this thing, look at that. This is the 0 point. Look it up here, the 0 point. So check this out. If I look at a nucleon in lead, that means then that it has this. it creates a little well. And so if I look for my well, there's my well, and it looks like this. So right trapped in here is one of the nucleons of iron. If I come over here, this is uranium-235. So if you think that I was just drawing wells just to make a little picture so that it's easier for you to see, this shit is real. This is where these wells come from. And this is the reason why I say this is one of the most important graphs.